Hey guys, it's Juanita Coley, the Contact Center Whisperer, the CEO and founder of Solid Rock Consulting, and I am back with another video. And today I'm talking about the top 5 metrics that you should be measuring in your contact center or tracking in your contact center. So before we dive into those top 5, what are metrics and why are we tracking them? I thought you'd never ask. So metrics are quantifiable, or it's a data point that we're using to measure, that we're measuring and tracking performance, making sure that we're moving in the right direction. So if we're thinking about a metric, it's a data point or something that is quantifiable that we are measuring to judge performance. And why are we doing this? Because we want to make sure that we're moving in the right direction, whatever that direction is that we've set as a business. And so when we think about contact center, there are so many different metrics that you could be measuring to determine, are you moving in the right direction? But let's talk about these top 5. The first one I want to talk about is CSAT. As a contact center whisperer, you know I'm going to say customer satisfaction. So Dialpad's platform has something called AI CSAT that allows you to measure customer satisfaction and predict customer satisfaction. So that's really important when we're thinking about driving customer experience, but also employee experience as well. Then we have AHT, which stands for average handle time. And this is generally a metric that we're looking at the total time it takes to handle an interaction, not just the time you're on the phone talking, but also the time you took to wrap. So average handle time, AHT, and then ACW, average call wrap. This is all put together. So talk time and wrap time is usually combined to come up with average handle time. And this is how you get this particular metric. Now, this is important because a Dialpad platform has something called AI summaries that can literally shave off minutes when you're thinking about summarizing a call. So this is impacting not only CSAT, customer satisfaction, but it also is impacting employee experience, because now as the agent, I don't have to take 2 or 3 minutes to summarize this call. The system has already done it for me. So I think average handle time is definitely something that you should be tracking, whether it's just for the mere purpose of impacting customer and employee experience and not necessarily from a budgeting perspective. First call resolution as well is another one. First call resolution, also referred to commonly as FCR, is how many times a customer has had to call in to have their issue resolved. So I called you, you transferred me, I have to call back, and then I have to call back again next week. That's 3 times I've had to call for it to handle one particular issue. First call resolution is a metric that you should be tracking because it drives cost in the business, but it also drives employee experience and customer experience, because if that customer has to call back 4 and 5 times, and they're likely disgruntled, which now they're passing that frustration on to the employee. And now we have service level is my 4th one. Service level, also commonly referred to as SLA, service level agreements, are when you hear us talk about, okay, 80% of the calls need to be handled in 30 seconds or less. And you hear us say, oh, the service level is 80-30. We're talking about a service level. Okay. And so when you hear us say 80-30 or 70-20 or 90-10, that is us saying, hey, 80% of these calls need to be handled in this amount of time or less. Now, this is important to track because you're going to have multiple things that determine this. What your budget is. Okay, what your budget is, how you can staff to actually answer 80% of those calls or 90% of those calls in 90 seconds or less, right? That which is going to be a budget thing. But also the other side of that is, what is the customer tolerance? Okay, there are some businesses that you can't get away with 80% of the calls in 30 seconds. Like, think about emergency departments. Imagine if 911 answered only 80% of their calls in 30 seconds or less. So service level is a metric that you should be tracking because you have to be able to determine customer tolerance. All right. And then you also have to be able to determine budget on how you get to that number. And then last, but definitely not least, and I'm at time, is customer effort score. How much effort does a customer have to put into reaching or engaging with your business? You want to make sure that this score is high and customers feel like, hey, I don't have to put in that much effort. I can reach you. anywhere, anytime. And this is where leveraging multiple channels and having that always on type of feel, always on, anywhere, anytime. I'm here to serve you. That customer effort score is going to be through the roof, and you're going to make sure that you're making impact from a customer experience perspective. So that's my time. Those are my top 5 that I would recommend. Definitely top of my list is going to be CSAT. I want to make sure that we're thinking about customer experience and we're driving that. We're actually talking to our customers, in Dialpad's platform with AI. CSAT is definitely going to help with that. And then AHT, the AI summaries, are also going to help with that. All right, guys, until next time, see y'all later.